What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. The 2026 World Cup keeps delivering stories, surprises, and debates. Yesterday gave us some dramatic moments, a massive upset, and a Morocco performance that left me with mixed feelings. Today we're reviewing the games from yesterday: Qatar, Switzerland, Morocco, Brazil, Scotland, Haiti, Austria, Turkey, and then we'll preview today's matches: Germany, Curaçao, Netherlands, Japan, Ivory Coast, Ecuador, and Sweden versus Tunisia. Let's get into it. Let's start with the opener: Switzerland versus Qatar in Santa Clara. And honestly, I'm going to be blunt. This game was slow, it was dry. It was the kind of match where you're checking your phone every 10 minutes, wondering if you missed a goal, only to find out you didn't miss anything. Switzerland were entirely dominant. They took 26 shots and generated 3.24 expected goals, and they had almost nothing to show for it for 93 minutes. Switzerland struck first at the 17th minute with Embolo scoring from the penalty spot after a foul by the Qatar goalkeeper on Freuler. Deserved, correct. Now go and win the game, right? Wrong. Because what followed was one of the most infuriating displays of clinical importance you'll ever see from a side that on paper should be controlling this kind of group opener. Ndoye squandered a big chance in the 35th minute. Xhaka strike wide from a good position in the 67th. Embolo had the ball roll away from him in the 87th when he was through on goal. Shot after shot, chance after chance, nothing. And then the gut punch in stoppage time. Boelem Khouhi rose from a cross and headed the ball to the bottom right corner to make it 1-0. Qatar captain, 94 minutes, Switzerland worst nightmare. Now look, I said the game was boring and I meant it. But I will give Qatar credit for the comeback. That late goal, that was genuinely beautiful to watch. It was Qatar's first ever World Cup point at the fourth attempt, having exited 2022 as hosts without a single point. The emotion of those players' faces, the captain leading from the back to score that header, that's the kind of moment that makes the World Cup special. Even in a game that made you want to fall asleep for 89 minutes, Qatar showed they're not here just to make up the numbers. That comeback spirit was real. Switzerland, on the other hand, have some serious questions to answer. You do not generate over 3 expected goals against Qatar and walk away with 1 point. You just don't. This is going to haunt them. And now we're talking. I'm Moroccan, so understand everything I say here comes with a little bias, a lot of emotion. Ismail Sibari and Vinicius Jr. scored the first goals for Morocco and Brazil, respectively, at the 2026 World Cup 1-1, full-time, MetLife Stadium, 80,000 people watching. And Morocco against Brazil in World Cup group stage opener went ahead first. Let me say that again. We went ahead first. In the 20th minute, a through ball found Ismail Sibari, who lifted a composed finish over Addison Becker after that goalkeeper failed to come out effectively. Composed, clinical, beautiful. That's the Morocco that gave the world those memories from the 2022. That composure in big moments, that belief. The first half was good. Morocco were organized, they were threatening. They looked like they belonged on that stage because they do. And as a Morocco fan, watching that half was genuinely one of those moments where you're just sitting there smiling like an idiot. We went to the World Cup and took the lead against Brazil in a packed American stadium. This is real. This is real. But, and there is a but, I have to be honest about Hakimi and Unai, because this channel isn't here to just celebrate without being critical. Hakimi let me down today defensively. I'm not gonna talk about the offense because it's not his job, even though he does it with Paris Saint-Germain. But defensively, they had a lot of chances from his side. I understand Vinny Jr. and everything, but he wasn't there when the goal scored against us. And I don't know, it was just easy to access to our defense from his side. Hopefully, in the next game, he will give us more defensively than offensively. And then there is Jean Unahi. He was taken off at the 65th minute. He was substituted for Samir Al Morabit, and honestly, he didn't have the impact I wanted. He's capable of so much more, and this wasn't the performance that was going to make Brazil a little bit nervous. Hopefully, next game. The point is fair. It's a good point. Brazil and their Ancelotti are no joke, but Morocco left something on that pitch, and we know it. Scotland beat Haiti 1-0 in their World Cup opener to move to the top of Group C. John McGinn scored in the 28th minute, finishing a rebound after Adams was denied following a long ball from Grant Handley. Clean sheet, 3 points, and for Scotland, this is genuinely historic. It's their first World Cup in 28 years. 28 years. An entire generation of Scottish football fans who have never seen their national team at a World Cup until now. So that moment when McGinn's rebound hit the net, I guarantee you millions of people in Scotland were screaming. That matters. That's what this tournament is for. Haiti had spills in possession but couldn't break through a disciplined Scotland defense. It wasn't the most exciting game, but sometimes you don't need exciting. You need professional, and the Scottish were professional. Job done. Group C is genuinely fascinating now. Scotland are top of the group with Brazil and Morocco second, but they still have to play both of them. But they've given themselves a fighting chance. Save the best for last, or actually save the most shocking. Australia beat Turkey 2-0. Let me be very clear. Nobody saw this coming. Turkey came into this tournament ranked significantly higher, with genuine quality across their squad, and they were expected to be one of the more competitive teams in Group G. Australia, solid, sure, but a 2-0 win, that is a stunner. The Aussies took an early lead on counter, capped off by brilliant first touch and finish from Nestori Irankunda in the 27th minute, then doubled their lead in the 75th minute on a strike from Connor Metcalf from just outside the box. Irankunda, remember that name, young, fast, and suddenly the talk of the tournament. Australia now sits on 3 points alongside the United States, while Turkey and Paraguay are still searching for their first World Cup points. Turkey's path through this group just got a lot harder. Australia are real contenders to get out of this group, and nobody was saying that before yesterday. And by getting out, I mean like move to the second round. Alrighty, day 4, 4 more matches. Let me break them down and give you my predictions. Germany, Curaçao, Group E, Houston, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 my time. Germany opens its 21st World Cup campaign against debutant Curaçao in what on paper is the most one-sided match of the day. Curaçao became the smallest nation by both population and area to qualify for this tournament, and there are 160,000 people on that island. Remarkable story, right? But football is played on the pitch, not in the history books. Germany can call upon Kimmich, Jonathan Tah, Leroy Sané, Jamal Musiala, Wirtz, Kai Havertz up front, who, by the way, just scored in the Champions League final. This is a machine against a Curaçao that just took a 4-1 defeat to Scotland in the pre-tournament friendly. That might tell you a lot. My prediction, Germany 5-0 or 6-0. I agree with you. This is a demolition job. Germany have a point to prove after years of underperforming on the World Cup stage. That is the game where Wirtz and Musiala announced themselves. Don't be surprised if Germany are ruthless. Japan, Netherlands, Group F in Dallas. This is the most intriguing game of the day. Japan are nobody's pushover. They've been one of the most tactically sharp Asian sides in the world football for a couple of years now. And their World Cup record against European teams is genuinely impressive. The Netherlands, meanwhile, are a dangerous side that always seems to come alive at tournaments even when their form says otherwise. My prediction 1-1 Japan. Japan will frustrate the Dutch in the first half, create something on the counter, and the Netherlands will find an equalizer but not a winner. Classic tournament chess match. I could see Japan nicking it, actually, but I'll say 1-1. Ivory Coast, Ecuador, Group E, Philadelphia. This is a contest between two legitimate dark horses candidates. Both teams were stellar defensively in their respective qualifying campaign. Ivory Coast have quality in attack and they have enough creativity to cause problems. Ecuador, meanwhile, are one of those South American sides that always seems to punch above their weight at World Cups. This is genuinely 50-50 for me. I'll go 1-1. Both teams need points and neither can afford to lose their opener. The late game. Sweden, Tunisia, Group F, Monterrey. A matchup between two very unpredictable teams. Sweden have Gyökeres, who on his day is genuinely unplayable. Tunisia is organized, physical, and will make this uncomfortable. But Sweden have the class to edge it. My prediction, Sweden 2-0 Tunisia. And Tunisia will not be that easy, but Sweden will comfortably in the end. Day 3 of 2026 World Cup delivered exactly what this tournament does best. The predictable made boring by Swiss wistfulness, the emotional made beautiful by Moroccan opener at midlife, a 28-year wait ended in Boston, and genuine shock from Soqueros in the dead of night. 4 games, 4 different stories. Day 4 starts in a few hours. Germany should be a show. Netherlands, Japan might be the tactical battle for the group stage. And somewhere in Philadelphia tonight, Ivory Coast and Ecuador are going to kick off something that could define who comes out of Group E. I'll see you on the other side. Subscribe if you haven't. Drop your predictions in the comments. And as always, let the football do the talking. Peace.